Well, I'd like to do a song now that I didn't write it with you, Mark. I didn't write it with you, Gretchen. I wrote it, I guess, by divine intervention. I don't know. But it was out of desperation. But I'd really want to sing this song for you because it's a good example that songwriters do intentionally sometimes write songs that have absolutely no way of ever making a dime. They're absolutely guaranteed, and they try as hard as they can to write this song, knowing full well they will reap no rewards in this world. But it has to do with a dare that I was given, in a sense. I was a den leader for several years for my sons, my number 2 and 3 sons, and helped out on my number 1 son, his den, for a little bit. We carved a few things, but the other guys, I actually was the head honcho. I was the big guy, the big blue and gold guy that they all looked up to because they didn't know any better. Because I told them to.
Just because.
Yeah, just because. But it was a funny thing that to me that I would ever do that, and my sons flattered me to thinking that they would follow me around in that uniform and do all the things I tried to help them with and teach. But one year, if all of you are familiar, I'm sure all of you are familiar with the Cub Scouts of America. They were formed in 1930, following the Boy Scouts. And at these PAC meetings, which are the monthly meetings, not the weekly meetings that I was the boss, there's a bigger boss. And that guy or gal brings all the little dens together into what they call the big pack. And I, being a kind of a musical guy, was always requested to lead the song. There was always a big song. And every year at the Blue and Gold Banquet, my guys and I, we would sing "The Bear Came Over the Mountain." And it had been written had a new lyric, that some housewife or I don't know, might have been an attorney. But it was about the lamest lyric I'd ever heard, and it really, the pack turned on me. And they said, "We don't ever want to hear that song again." And I'll never forget the day at the last pack meeting prior to the Blue and Gold Banquet. Judy Beadle from Den 1 walked right up to me, all 5'2" of her, and she said, "Richard, you're a professional songwriter, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." Why, yes. Why do you ask? And she said, "Well, we've all gotten together, and they've sent me over as representative to tell you they're sick of the Bear Came Over the Mountain. And they said, we want you to write a song for next month." And I said, "Oh my Lord," to myself, how do you write a song about the Cub Scouts? That is not exactly the hookiest thing I've ever heard. So, but all the little blue and gold guys that were about that big were crowding in on me really closely because they knew Judy Beadle was big, Den 1. I mean, it was big. And they all crowded around, and she said, "Will you do this?" And they all looked up, their little shining faces up at me, and I looked back at them, and I knew what they were thinking. The motto. I said, "I'll do my best." So I went home. And I thought, I'm really in trouble now. And I went into the bathroom, the only place that I could find any peace, and I took a beer in there with me, and I started to kind of relax.
This is getting thick, man.
And I thought, I'm in trouble big time, but I am going to give this everything I've got, and I'm gonna show them that Den 3 can really knock this out. And so we did have this song at our next PAC meeting, and it's a blue and gold banquet I'll never forget. And I like to sing it now for my sons and all the sons that I had the privilege to work with, friends of mine. They all were great kids. And this is a little mythological treatment of the birth of Cub Scouting. Many years ago, on this very night, some people gathered round a campfire light. Everyone was saying the world was in a mess, not enough people trying to do their best. So they took a little blue, and they took a little gold, and they took a little boy about 9 years old and turned him around, and lo and behold, that's how it came about. The night they made the first Cub Scout. Now they come in every size, they come in every shape, and everywhere they are, the world's a better place. Every bobcat and bear, wolf and wee below, remembers that night many years ago, when they took a little blue and they took a little gold, and they took a little boy about 9 years old and turned him around, and lo and behold, that's how it came about. The night they made the first Cub Scout. Oh, they took a little blue and they took a little gold, they took a little boy about 9 years old and turned him around, and lo and behold, that's how it came about. The night they made the first Cub Scout.